So last night I put 5 cans behind my pillow, and it keeps them cold because there's a thick pillow behind it, behind the bag of cans, and the pillow in front of it, and it keeps the cold and the cans from bothering me because there's the pillow between me, insulating me from the cold and the metal. And also the way that I have the cans placed is in such a manner that they're sideways, so there's not some edge that's, sticking into my body. When I regained consciousness this morning, someone had stolen 2 of those cans and placed the remaining ones so that the bottoms of the cans were sticking out into my spine painfully. So they moved my body, obviously. I don't know what way they moved my body, but they moved it in a manner that enabled them to get to the behind those pillows, that my head was against the upper pillow and my entire back was leaning against these pillows, and they still managed to do that. I was just going to show a couple of other things going on in here. Namely, let's see if I can turn this. This light is supposed to be on. It's not shedding much light. I just cut my sleeve on something right here as I was closing this door, and lo and behold, someone unscrewed a sharp piece of metal that's been sticking out for nearly 3 years I've been in this facility. Somebody removed it today, since this morning, because I routinely have that door open with a pillow on the top to help prevent they've planed the door so that they have a blower in the ceiling right outside the door. They have an air vent, and they blow cold air into my room, and they planed the top of the door and the side of the door. You can actually, when my room's dark, you can see the light coming through the side and the top of the door, both sides of the door. So I try to cut down on some of that by having this closet door open, and by having the pillow divert some of the cold air that comes out of this air vent when they decide to activate that. And I've got this other weather stripping. I use gowns at the bottom of doors to try to keep cold air from blowing under the doors. But anyway, so I routinely, every time I go in and out of my room to get hand sanitizer, afterwards I'm opening the store again, so that, like, when I open the door to the hallway, of course, opening that door makes this door close over, and then afterward, and also I have to close the door over to get behind to make sure that the gowns, the weather stripping, is up against the door. And then I was just trying to film this. So I'll be behind the door, and then I'll open the door. And I don't usually use my hand. I usually often will use an arm or a shoulder with a gown covering it. And just now when I did it, my sleeve caught on something, and so I looked to see what it caught on, and there's still somehow something sharp sticking out. And I saw that they had removed the other sharp thing that was sticking out. So I don't know what the heck. It's this metal piece right here somehow has sharp edges. So, so that's new. That happened today. They took that metal piece off today. The other thing, this happened a couple days ago. I go in the bathroom, I think it was on Wednesday. It's now Friday night. And I noticed there's a spider. And it's still there. Just hanging out next to the paper towel dispenser that patients have to use, right next to the sink and the waste basket that we use. And then I don't know what happened here, if they chipped the porcelain or what this is actually. Yeah, it seems like they chipped. I don't think that's coming off. It feels rough. So I don't know what they did, but they chipped the porcelain on the sink. And as long as I'm recording in here, well, we'll go ahead and show again. Here's this poor spider. I don't know what they've done to it, why it's not moving. But it's been hanging out in this location since Wednesday. Oh, it is moving. It is alive. Why it has taken up residence right there, I do not know. The CNA, the Certified Nursing Assistant, uses this bathroom several times a day. The patient in 20C uses this sink every day and the bathroom several times a day. The janitor comes in and cleans, and CNAs change the wastebasket. And I'm sure they've noticed that spider, but nobody's done anything except leave it there. So, very weird. And as usual, they've left disgusting stuff in the bathroom. And so let's take a look at what it's like. Oh, it seems like they changed the batteries. The paper towel dispenser has been chugging really slowly when you try to get a paper towel the past couple days, but it seems like now it's got fresh batteries. But this commode, you have to apply a lot of pressure to the handle, and it hurts my spine. Anybody that has a spine pain issue is going to have an issue, and all they need to do is replace this mechanism, and they're too cheap to do it. Many other rooms, they've replaced it, but not this one. And this one, not only does it require a lot of pressure, you also have to hold it down for varying lengths of time, like 12 seconds. And then you have to kind of listen to whether it actually flushes or not. It's just a ridiculous, stupid waste of effort and energy and pain to do a simple thing. Like, you should just be able to make one gentle pressure press and not worry about it. It's just supposed to flush the commode without a lot of pressure, without any other effort or nonsense. But they've already filled the bowl, so we should be able to have it flush by holding the handle down for 6 seconds instead of 12. Let's see if it works. So this is hurting my spine. And that time it actually was successful in as little amount of time as possible. Many other times it takes much, much longer, like it can take up to 20 seconds for the thing to flush after you hold the handle down for 12 seconds. So you're spending 32 seconds of your life just to make sure that the commode flushes. It's stupid. It's a waste of time. It's something that they should have replaced years ago. I've been here, it's going to be 3 years on September 9th. And I've complained about it. I tried to put in a written maintenance request very soon after I arrived at this facility. And they don't have anything in writing. They don't have any forms in writing. They don't have a patient abuse form. They don't have a theft form. They don't have a repair and maintenance request form. They don't have, if you want to give a compliment to a staff member, they don't have forms, period. And I asked for email addresses of the administrator and the director of nursing so that I could copy them on my written complaints and requests and so forth, and have my attorney contact them and so forth. And they, the assistant director of nursing at one point told me he was going to give me the addresses, and after 4 months of my reminding him and him telling me he was going to get them for me, he finally got really rude and defensive and refused to give them to me. And that was the end of that. The other thing I meant to show while we're in here hanging out with this spider is the handles as well are not correct for someone who is disabled. They're these really cheap old plastic handles for 20 bucks. Well, I don't know, I haven't bought a fixture in a while, but it used to be you could buy a pretty nice fixture for 20 bucks that has the lever handles, so a slight pressure with one finger, you could pull the handle toward you and the water comes on. You could push the handle away from you and the water goes off. But these, you have to grab with your entire hand, so you have to have your hands free, and not just a fingertip, and it requires pressure and effort beyond what it should require. And meanwhile, you're leaning over when you've got a bad spine and it hurts to lean over. And I asked for these to be replaced, and they haven't ever done that. I asked them to replace the flush mechanism on the commode, and I asked them to replace the bathroom faucet handle thing, fixture, and they haven't done that. And then this, these soap dispensers, I guess this one they've just given up on even trying to use anymore, because CNAs would come in here and you'd hear them just hitting it, like pressing it super hard a bunch of times to try to get even a drop of soap out. And then it looks like this is the one that they're currently using, and it actually hurts me to press this. You have to apply so much pressure to this. And you see, I'm pressing it and nothing's coming out. And yeah, so you could press it and press it and press it and nothing comes out. So it's just nonsense. It's just a bunch of easily replaced. What they should have in here is a touchless, battery-operated dispenser, so that it has a sensor, so you put your hand under it and it gives you some soap, period. They use that in hospitals. That's the standard. It should especially be the standard in this healthcare facility where there are a lot of elderly and disabled people. And, many rooms actually have been updated, and these things were replaced in several rooms, but not this one. This one's been left to just, it's got the old floor that's probably original to the building, built in 1960. And even though the floor tiles are cracked and missing, there's a tile missing under the bed. You can see that brown space under the bed where there's no tile. There's a hole in the floor right here, that's why I've got it covered up, where a draft comes through. You can't see through it right now, but in certain daylight you can actually see through the floor. You can see light coming up through the floor from apparently a room downstairs below my room. So I think somebody is knocking. It's 10:36 at night, so why somebody's knocking at my door doesn't make any sense. I guess I'm finished showing what I was showing in the bathroom. Oh, except there's no thing to plug the drain, and there's no grate, so if anything drops down the drain, bye-bye, whatever it is. And one last thing I intended to show also is this door. If I don't push it really hard, if I just close it, it doesn't want to latch. That time it did, but most of the time it doesn't. And they've misshaped these doors. They've bowed the doors so that when it's closed, there's space that, there's air that flows through the space and a draft that comes through. You just heard that click when I pulled on the door handle. That means that they didn't latch the door. The last CNA that closed it didn't latch it. And a lot of times what happens is when I close my door, that one will pop open. And same thing on my door. If I don't make sure that it's latched, if I don't make sure that it clicks when I close it, or when the CNA or nurse goes in the bathroom and then closes it, that door will just pop open when they open the door to the hallway, or I open the door outside. I've actually shown already